live.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Live at 5. Today we're going to go over some more shorter shots, setting up the knees, maybe some elbows. I want to work these teardrop bags. So I'll be able to give you guys like a side profile view, and then I'll be able to turn around. You guys will see the back view. But this way, when I'm doing it here, pay attention to like how I slip my head off this center line. Whenever I'm throwing shots, kind of watch to see how my head moves to the side and come on the side of the bag. On the fire hook, it goes back. So my head's kind of zigzagging the whole time across. I'm never kind of just letting it stay in place here. Even if I'm moving forward and back, I don't want my head in that lane this way. You know, it's easy to think I can just kind of lean back and fire that check hook or close his eyes or step off and spin. Try to have your head zigzag off that lane as much as you can when you punch. So like when you go through your right shoulder, your head's naturally tilting to the side naturally. So just allow your frame to turn. And when you feel your left hand, where I should be throwing my left shoulder, my left hip, so my head's crossing that lane again. Right, so it goes about shoulder width like this. So a good drill you guys can either practice that, just having your elbows up and just turning side to side. Let my head kind of just shift side to side with my shoulders. Keep that back leg on the ball of your foot. And that'll allow you to turn your right hip and your right shoulder forward. Right, so when you punch, you want to fully extend your frame. That same motion, fully extend, so we're just kind of rotating the core. And then switch your stance, same thing. Back leg, ball of the foot. When I throw that left elbow forward, just like I'm throwing the left cross. So that's a good little warm up, just to get the muscle memory going for you guys that are still trying to mix in head movement to your shots. And that's it. Before you guys even learn high volume of combinations, I'd say just learn how to move forward in a straight line, getting your shoulders off that. I know I try to cover a lot of it here, whether we have that rope or whether we're out in the open or that tape on the wall, but taking the head off that center line is key. It's huge. That's everything. Andrade did an excellent job in implementing that for all three rounds against Rose. I mean, it was she was exhausted. You can tell that she trained that specifically, and it was like she was consciously doing this. You know what I mean? And I guess a taller fighter, when you're moving in and out trying to hit them, this is key. You can't just be coming in a straight line, because off this shift you guys can fire kicks, you guys can cover, you guys can blitz if you're going for a shot or whatever. So in that sense, just kind of look for that head movement when we fire the combos on this bag. We'll go that first one. We'll go, we're on that one slip series that we went over. We're going to go jab, slip. Right, that one slip is that you're always slipping to the outside. Okay, so I'm going to jab, slip to the outside. When I slip, I'm kind of sitting down in my stance. Okay, so hard enough jab. I want to try to get him to throw back off his jab. So instead of like a little patch touching his gloves, I'm going to give him a hard jab. If he feels confident enough to throw something back, and I'm going to slip his shot as he commits to it. And off this slip, I'm coming back with a heavy hook, and then a knee. All right, guys, so that's the combo. It's going to be a one slip, hook, knee. So one slip, left hook, and then the right knee. When you guys find that knee, imagine it's like a wall right here. You're just bringing your legs straight up the middle and down. Or you guys can run that pike knee. That pike knee is more like a pivot. So we're going to pivot on this foot and bring this knee up at like a 45-degree angle. And think about like a kitchen sink. Right? Just kind of throwing it into his ribs. You mean? And that's like a good way to stop a southpaw from committing to a big overhand. You can bring that pike knee to the side. But your frame is kind of your defense on that. Your frame, where your head is at when you throw that knee, is kind of your defense, right? If my head's here, I don't want to be chilling right down this lane this way and exchange a shot for a chintzy little knee. I want to commit to it and make sure I'm in a good position, good posture. My head's off to the side, so my head is up, and so my hands up in case I throw a head kick or pull my head off to the side. So those are the two knees, right? Just give them that straight knee and back. Again, that one's more like a rocking chair. Your hips come up, your shoulders go back. Try to come up on the ball of your foot. The other one's that pike knee. So you're kind of pivoting on your foot like you're going to throw a kick, but you don't really, you just keep your knees sturdy and just kind of, again, think about a kitchen sink into his rib cage. So again, straight knee, pike knee, down. So here we go. It's going to be a jab, slip, hook, knee. Or we're going to go jab, slip, hook, pike. You can change up that hook for like a body shot as well, even, right? We're going to go jab, slip, body shot, pike. We're going to go jab to the body to start off with. You can go jab, slip, hook to the head, knee. Right, bag work is a little bit more efficient when you have a partner to hold the bag. You guys can rattle off reps as hard as you guys can. Unless you got one of those big, those fat daddy bags that don't move around, the 300 pounders. You got like 3 guys on there. If not, you guys, I like kicking these poles too because they don't move. It allows you to work on your frame and your commitment to all your shots. These other bags can move around a little bit too much, but yeah, don't be afraid. You can just shadow block some of these middle poles we have around here as well. So there's a couple different variations of that first one. Jab, slip, hook, straight knee, or jab, slip. Remember, when you slip, you're kind of winding, sitting down your legs. Think about if you have like an empty soda can, you kind of twist it, it kind of shrinks down a little bit. So that's the kind of motion you want. Jab, sit and shrink down, and then hook. We'll face this way in a couple of them. Right, so jab. Again, I'm jabbing hard enough to get him to throw back. It's not just a chintzy little slap jab this way. I want him to throw some hard stir jab. He's taking a little step forward. He fires back. Boom, I slip to the outside. I slip and I sit. Okay, so now punching out of this position here, using my legs and my hips as the driving force. And come back, hook, and then knee. Again, so jab, slip, hook. We're going to run that pike as well. Right? Jab, slip. We can run that body shot. Again, jab on that body shot. I'm slipping to the outside. I want to keep my head outside this frame while I'm sticking with that body shot. I don't want to go slip and bring my head back across this way and come in here. That's not worth the risk taking a hook, a power hook on the side. But still sit out to the side. So if he goes to throw the hook, that's plenty of time for me to see it. Dig out this way, right? If he throws a kick or anything on that side, I'm already out to the side. So think about that when you throw a body shot. You want to slip and then stay on this outside and stick this way. Okay, so again, jab, slip, shot. If you jab low, slip, hook high. Slip. Again, ripping the body hard is going to get a guy to cover up this way. So he's going to cover up here, then you can pike knee in this way, or body shot hard, hitting it on the middle, right? But sometimes you guys are just kind of hitting frames, throwing hooks, hitting body shots to get guys to cover up and react. Get them to shell up, right? Get them against the fence. Jab up and hook just to get them to fold up this way, and then crack the leg at that. You know what I mean? But I got to get those first 3, that response out of them. So that's the first one. We want jab, slip, hook to a knee, or jab, slip, body shot to a knee, then jab, slip, hook, that pike, and then jab, slip, body shot, pike. Okay, and then we'll do a little conditioning set on the ground. So we'll do the first one, mountain climber. So fist down, remember 1 foot up on your chest, other foot back, and your switch. Time. Go on your backs. We'll do that sit up one so your legs are flat, and then you're going to put your knuckles on the ceiling. So Alright guys, so usually do like sets of 30 if you're counting, or for time, go like 45 seconds to a minute. 45 seconds is a good range. People start dying down unless you're in camp. Push for the full minute. But we'll do that next drill. We'll go. We'll run that same slip body shot. But we'll go off a jab cross. So instead of going jab slip, we're going to go jab cross, and then we're going to slip slip. So if you're going to slip, you're going to I want you to step back with that first slip. We're going to slip here. Right, now that's going to give me space to get outside his first shot. That's going to create more space for me to beat that path on that second shot. If I don't take that slip, that step on that first one, I'm going to be too close to just run 2 slips. I'm sure I'll beat his first shot, but a good chance I'm not going to beat his second one. Right, especially if the guy's committed, I just threw on him. So to give myself more time to beat that second shot, I want to step back on that first slip. All right, so me personally, I don't like rolls. I think it sets you up too much or too dangerous. You got to be very heavy on your left lead leg to roll this way so a guy can chop. So I personally like slip. So to do this, I have to 1-2 step back on that first slip and then slip again. So again, it's jab cross, I'm stepping back on that first slip and then slip the other side. Okay, and then we got that same response. It's going to go left hook. And now we're going to go elbow, okay? So we're going to bring that hooking elbow straight down the middle, or bring that tomahawk elbow over the top, okay? Or we're going to go body shot. So same thing, body shot, elbow, or that same thing, jab cross, slip, body shot, okay? If you like to slip roll, you guys can do that. Jab cross, slip, I really don't need to step with that leg, and then roll. If I want to slip, and then roll off that step, it's a little bit further away than I like. You know what I mean? When I come up, I might be a little short. So if I want to slip roll, I'm pretty much going to kind of stay right there in the pocket. 1-2, slip, and then roll underneath. And as I come up, I'm kind of swinging them over the top hook, and then fire. A 1-2, slip, roll, body shot. Okay, so that'll be the second one. So again, jab cross, step, hook, elbow. Jab, cross, step, roll. If you guys ever feel like you're too far away too for like that back tomahawk elbow, you guys can pick up that lead leg that you're going to block, and then just kind of slide that back leg in, almost as if your elbow's like a catapult, right? You're going to get the catapult in place before you guys pull a lever, right, and launch that thing. So you're going to make sure your feet are in place before you can even let the weapon go. So if you feel like you're too far out of frame, well, this guy will see this, I feel like you got to lunge, then just lift that leg up like you're going to attack or get a reaction to him, or you can just use that to grab a guy. But use that and skip in with that back leg to kind of get your entrance. Just be aware and keep this shield up, you know. You don't need to shield up this way with it, but almost have it out, almost like a guard, a shield as you're coming in, right? And if you can touch him with that lead hand, then you know all you can do is switch your shoulders with that elbow, okay? So again, we're going jab cross, step, hook, elbow. Make sure you guys adjust your feet on the elbow too. If the bag's moving, you're gonna have to move a little bit. Right? Jab cross, slip, roll, body shot. Face this way. And then we can go like a conditioning bag, a conditioning drill on the back. So we'll clinch up this way. You don't have to be super tied up. Almost just like grab like part of the top. Okay, almost like pinching your elbows together. We're gonna go just like you're gonna do the running man. Just slow down first. You got your knee in, and as this leg drops, this back leg's coming back, right? And that knee's coming in. And before this leg drops, this post leg is going back. So we're here. and in. So it's almost like I'm doing like a pendulum movement every time. One foot's on the ground, one knee's on the target, and switch. That leg's going all the way back. And in, switch, in, switch, in, switch, in. Right, once you get a rhythm going, you guys pick up the pace. It's like a good conditioning drill you guys can do. All you guys are trying to set a pace for bag work, right? You can try to do this for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then break away from your bag work, right? And back to the knees. And you go like 2 power knees. Back to that movement. But just getting this rep in of bringing your leg back, and then bringing it in, and then switching back and in is a good quality, like athletic rep. So instead of just doing jumping jacks are good. You know, involve those as well. Any kind of full range of motion, you guys are moving around. So we'll stick to that elbow concept. We'll go, again, trying to get him to attack. So a good combination is a jab body shot. I think throwing crosses to the body and even push kicks to the body pisses guys off. I feel like they got attacked and come in and score back. So we'll go jab cross. Right? As he attacks this way, we're gonna step in. We'll go spinning back elbow. Okay, so we go jab cross. Again, jab cross, the back's gonna go back, and then when it comes back, we'll simulate that, him attacking. And then once I get him coming back at me, I'm just stepping off the lane, and his momentum, he's running into where my elbow, where I was, where my elbow just was replacing my head. You know what I mean? So that's all this stuff is. He's about 1 body length down my lane. I'm just gonna step off 1 body length. And then spin around, keep my guard up on this side. I'm pretty safe right here. There's not much you can really hit me with. Maybe as long as this guard is up and this elbow is high enough on the elbow to kind of protect my chin. See what's up this way? I'm not just kind of swinging my elbow across. My chin's not coming up. My chin's still down, buried behind my elbow this way. You know what I mean? And actually, if you get that downward angle where you're coming down, it's even a little bit harder. I think that will go through a lot of these MMA guards when the guys have their hands up as well. But you can just practice on that. These bags, these teardrop bags, is a little bit easier to work these elbows rather than the big, tall, heavy bags, just because of the angle. Right. So again, we'll go jab cross, step off. Again, jab cross. Anything to kind of get him attacking and going forward. Whatever you think is a good. When you guys take that step, naturally your body's going to want to step and this back leg's going to want to continue to follow you. If you do that, you'll kind of overshoot it. And you'll end up hitting on the soft part of your tricep up by your shoulder more. So really try to focus on just let him commit, and you're just stepping off to the side and doing a 180 and leaning back. And he's running into it. You know what I mean? So again, you guys can fire whatever engagements you want to get him. I like that lead uppercut cross. I like that lead uppercut, kind of knock the guy's hand up into their face, or I kind of clear the path to kind of fill your right side. You don't see too many guys get knocked out or drop with it. Georgia Petrosian is the best one I've seen as far as dropping the guy with it. But not a lot of guys can throw a significant punch. You got to bring your shoulder back a little bit and then swing your elbow on your hip, right? But it's a good punch to kind of check the guy. So just kind of touching his gloves, seeing where he's at. Punch his gloves, you know, test his metal. See how well he just dealt with that, see his frame, you know what I mean? And out of the body after that, or just let him flash through. For a southpaw going against an orthodox guy, that's a great entrance. That lead up across, or vice versa, orthodox and a southpaw, up across. Other side, same thing.
Would you have a question, Rob? Whenever you're.
Oh yeah. If you guys want to take any questions, fire them away. We're gonna have we'll try to answer them live. I guess we got one in right now.
Guy wants to know if Travis wants to know if you still train with guys from the Ultimate Fighter.
No one that I did the show. I didn't just talk to on texting, social media, stuff like that. No, but there's other guys that were on different other Ultimate Fighters here. Kyler Phillips and stuff like that. But no, for my season, everyone kind of moved, doing their own thing. And then, all right, guys. So just so you have a backward view of how far I'm stepping off. So we're gonna go jab, cross, knock him back, and as he enters, we're stepping off to the side here. Right, again, just one body length. I don't need to go all the way out and then back in. I'm just stepping like one length over. So it's a step. As I spin, he's kind of ramming right into my elbow this way. I still want to hold myself accountable here as I turn my back. Right? I'm not just dropping this hand and swinging this thing blindly around like this. I don't just got to throw a big shot over here. Still hold yourself accountable, right? Here. Like I tell everyone, if you're out there on the battlefield and your life depended on it, how would your form be? How would your frame be? You know what I mean? How often would you spend shadowing this and practicing? And these high-level fights, I mean, you can't afford any little mistake like that. So even when you're coming around in this position, always protect your own. You know what I mean? So again, we're going to go jab, cross, and force. So we're going to kind of create the engagement. We're going to create that pressure on him. Or you guys in there getting firing back and working off on that right knee elbow with that lead elbow. Right? If you guys see a guy super committed, you just maybe hit him with like a leg kick, forward super pissed, you see him getting ready to attack. Just plant that back leg and get ready to pounce off that ball, that foot. And just drive this elbow up slightly past up to your eyebrows almost. You're gonna tuck your chin, keep your eyes open, just keep this guard up. It's almost like a smother, but you're leading with your lead elbow. And if he's coming forward, that's enough to, you know what I mean? I can pick this leg all the way up and just drive and kind of pounce in and shorten. That's enough to gash a guy if it hits him, especially if he's stepping in. You know what I mean? So just make sure you're firm. But you should always be firm when you're using your elbows and your guard, especially if some guy throws on, you know what I mean? Throws on me. I shoot him with a 1-2. He throws back, and I just cover hard, and I shield up. I need to be firm when I'm doing that. I can't be cover light and easy. The guy's gonna crack right through my guard. So I have to fire and be strong here, and then rip back heavy. You know what I mean? So yeah, doing Dutch drills like that with your partner is excellent for kind of building the confidence of having to have your arms heavy and strong when you guys are using them. And then another little drill you guys can do with those knees, we can go 2 knees straight, we can go up, and then 2 side knees. Okay? So in this one, you bring your hip to the side, and then in, and then across, and in. So it's going to be middle, side, side, middle, side, side. So that same little, like that jogging pace. A lot of guys tie up and they'll do this inside this like slapping knee. That's where they're stuck kind of, entertain the judges when guys are clinched up to try to get points. But it doesn't really do much damage, that slapping knee. That's a guy's outside leg super tenderized. You know what I mean? And you want to keep chipping away at it. But if not, try to turn your hip all the way over and spike that tip of that knee in. I think that angle does a lot more damage, especially for wrestlers that have a good overhook. You might get to that position a lot more and try that knee. You know what I mean? So that's another good little drill. Got the 2 up the middle, and this side. Go back down for another leg exercise. We'll do split squats in this one. So here. that's probably the best, like, short little, like, I guess calisthenic footwork, conditioning drill all in one. You can do them fast, like fast twitch, short volume, or higher, slower ones, longer volume. But those, the squat jumps, just going for like 45 minutes or 45 seconds, or a bunch of like great short-term interval things you guys can do. Good for recovery, just going high knees as fast as you guys can in place, or you can go high knees and punches, or you got a jump rope next to you. Have that be your recovery on the ropes, you know what I mean? Just kind of cooling down and doing rope sprints. Probably the best warm-ups you guys can do is breaking a sweat with the ropes, and then doing some of the fast twitch movement. All that stuff that's with or without a ladder. That stuff where you're going forward and back over that line. You see all these high-level Olympic, like Taekwondo teams, they do a lot of that stuff to warm up with before they even train, because you're doing a lot of athletic, acrobatic movements, you know what I mean? You need to warm up your spine and your hips, and more importantly, you need to be turning your nervous system on. And that happens after you get warmed up and move around a little bit. So, I also like these teardrop passes that kind of swing. We can practice that skip knee as well. So again, this is a knee you want to run when the guy's coming forward. If he's standing still and I just try to run and jump at him, most guys either they'll move back, they'll get spooked and they'll kind of move back, or they'll kind of duck their head and shoot, or they might close their eyes and twist and throw something over the top. And then if he's going back, it's even worse. If I try to throw a skipping and the guy's momentum is already going back, unless he's rocked. I'm not saying knock him hard and I clipped him and this nervous system is drunk, you know what I mean? He's Italian, he's going out. Then I can chase him. Then I can chase him with the skip knee. But if he has his wits about him and he's mindfully moving back and I throw this big knee, what? It's like all for nothing. He already has some momentum. He'll be able to see it and blitz back. He'll be able to change. He'll be able to get out of the way. So the most efficient time to throw that knee is when that guy's coming forward. When he's committed coming forward on you. He does a lot of the work for you as far as closing the distance with that knee. You know, I'm not having to jump and gauge how much space is between my opponent. And okay, then I'm going to switch perfectly timed and then hopefully he doesn't see. So this guy's already coming in. There's no way he's going to gauge how fast and explosively I can get from knee to knee. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a good, hard, sturdy little switch knee like that. And again, it doesn't have to be too high, just at a guy's chest. Remember, when guys shoot, they kind of drop down this way. Even a lot of MMA guys, especially guys that don't train and don't spend time in the gym, they'll kind of duck their head and kind of swing these big shots over the top this way. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys' head is down here. A lot of times guys' heads are down here in this danger zone, where it's really easy to clip guys. You know what I mean? So we'll just work on some of that stuff right now. Just taking your head off the center line. That plank knee, that straight knee, that body shot, the elbows, and that skip knee now. Okay, so I'm gonna fire whenever I want to get him moving back, and then when he comes in, I'm gonna fire with the skip knee, or I can come forward with an elbow. Okay, I'm gonna go this way and this way. Or you guys are doing these in the heavy bags, you can have one of the partners kind of hold one of the bags back. Now you just got to get in place and start shadow boxing whenever they want. When they see they can let go of the bag and push the bag, and you have to jump and attack the bag. And boom, reset. And they kind of here, they kind of fade, they kind of throw on, shadow boxing, and boom, throw that back. So, you know what I mean? And then you respond. So again, you're out here kind of throwing. You're working on that raw, natural response to throwing that knee. So great, you'll have it with your partners or on one of these bags. So again, as I get him coming back, my first movement is my back leg. I'm throwing that up at my target first, and then while I'm in air, that's when I switch. I switch and I stick him with that opposite knee. Right? A lot of guys try to go up and they try to jump with this back leg and stick them with that same leg. That's good as well. That's another knee that you have to throw when the guy's coming forward. You can't throw that knee on a guy that's standing still or running back. That's way too much distance between your back leg and the target and trying to jump off. You know what I mean? So that's why, as the guy's coming forward, yeah, it's a great knee to run. He's running into it, you know what I mean? But now guys have kind of leveled up, and now a lot of them are running that skip knee off the guy's moving as he's coming forward. That's just shutting a lot of guys down. Remember Paul Jaski used to do an excellent one. The guy would kind of circle away, and in midair he'd switch and throw a kick and knock guys out. Because his foot would be just enough to put the guy, you know what I mean? They call it a flying gentleman, but it was pretty, the old K1 guys had such an excellent Dutch style of fighting. I think that K1 kickboxing game that first came out was like the best fighting game ever too. It's better than any of the UFCs and everything. Although this new UFC game does look kind of sick, the new one with the whole like kickboxing arena with blood sport. But keep that in mind when you guys are doing these bags. These are great again for those knee drills and for showing you that movement when guys are coming forward and back. So you can practice your range, right? Lead elbow, back elbow. But just don't be shy when you guys run that skip knee. Make sure you guys commit to that back leg, right? If you're shy about committing to that back leg, then my left leg's going to be weak. I can't like barely throw this and then hopefully try to switch. You're going to put all your momentum in that first movement, jolting off the ground with that back leg and then switching. It's almost like you're putting a car in neutral and kind of pushing it. You know what I mean? That's why if you can get the other car coming forward as well, that's going to cause a lot of damage. Imagine, two cars in neutral, both going at each other. That's the concept you're trying to emulate with trying to get guys to attack and commit to their shots. So, having a tall frame when you guys are doing these as well. If you're doing it with a partner that's holding Thai pads and you guys are working elbows and knees, remember, keep a tall frame. We're not crouched down here too much. We're not kind of upright. Kickboxing is more of an upright sport than boxing, especially Dutch style. We're back here, you block and cover and throw a lot. We're not trying to clinch up for elbows, so we're throwing knees off the guard. So think about having a good posture, good frame, even when you guys are hitting the bag. If you guys are doing just power conditioning, you're going down on one knee and doing all core work, and you're going up and you're just trying to crack that bag and build, muscle conditioning. That's okay to have the stance a little sloppy, but you guys that just start off training for your first 6 months, a year, 2 years, man, you guys should be focusing just on your frame, your technique, super sharp core. Is my body within the width of the bag? You know what I mean? Is my shoulders and everything right inside this lane? Or are my elbows sticking out this bag this way? And my head's kind of staying in the middle, my arms are coming out. You know what I mean? That's like the opposite. I don't want my arms out, my head, all my elbows in, I want my head moving. Right, as much as I can in that frame. So I got to that rectangle stance, right? See, I'm kind of in the width of the bag. I'm not turning out this way. I'm not turning sideways and pull back. I'm still staying squared off. Keeping that back foot and the ball of my foot kind of checks my hip and allows me to stay engaged. I feel like I can throw a lot more significant elbows, like off two with my back foot and the ball of my foot. I feel like that just kind of locks my frame up a little bit. I'm already engaged here now, so now I've got this pretty cool. That back leg is flat, it feels flat on the ground. I can still have my hands up, but there's nothing really to drive off for this elbow. Back leg, ball of my foot. Okay, now I have a little spring. Now I'm kind of turn over right away for anything I want. Right, so we'll go, if you guys have someone to hold the bag as well, you guys can go on your knees. Then we can go up, fire knee. After your stance, and then we'll fire that pike. Right? And then back down. We'll go up, fire knee, in the stance, You fire that pike. That pike, that footwork's the same thing. You're actually going to throw a head kick. Just kind of turn your hip over, right? When you guys make contact, you're going to be here. My heel is kind of pivoting all the way through my motion, and I'm out this way. I'm not really trying to hit him in the head, I'm trying to hit him in the body, off to the side, and my head's coming safe. So make sure you pivot, don't be shy about the pivot. If I don't pivot, I'm kind of just swinging my leg around, and I'm not really able to extend my hip, right? It's like me throwing a punch, but keeping my shoulder back. The same concept. So I want my shoulders to turn when I fire that punch. Same thing when I knee, or same thing for this knee, is you want your hip to fire, go all the way through. So that means I need my foot to pivot. If I don't pivot, that means I can't fire my hip. Same concept when you guys kick, right? So many guys have such a problem kicking and flipping that shin over. It's all at their hip because they're not pivoting on that foot. Right? The main thing to focus on and fix when you guys kick is your pivot foot. In order for me to flip I tell everyone, imagine like your leg is like a sword, right? And your shin is like the edge of that sword. You're not going to show up to a sword fight and then turn your blade sideways and try to slap the guy with the blade. You know what I mean? You're going to try to slice him in half. So you want that edge, and so to use that edge, you have to pivot your hip over, which means you got to pivot this foot. If I don't pivot my foot, then I can't use the edge of the blade. I'm barely wincing it over here. You know what I mean? I can't turn over any further than that because my foot's stuck in the mud. Now watch when I pivot, I turn this heel all the way through. Now that allows me to turn my hip over, not hit with the blade, the edge of the blade this way. And that's why that pivot is super, super important. Step through, turn over. Especially if you're doing a leg kick. Turn all the way to chop down. Turn over, chop down. Body kick, same thing, try to cut them in half. Right? Turn. You want to try to turn at least 80 degrees or 180. Try to turn at least 90. If you do just 90, that's fine. Try to have your shin, your heel hit the 90-degree mark. At the same time, your shin hits the target. So all that's kind of working in one. You know what I mean? You guys can even have a partner and you just that drill. You're turning your hip over and laying your shin across his waist and pushing off. Turn. Just so you're practicing just that motion. Right? Once you guys are comfortable with that, then we can start letting the shin go and start going for power. Well, that's basic stuff you guys can do at home, and then build from there. So we'll do a couple more drills from the back. So punching wise, one you guys can do at home, with any bag you have. We'll go jab, cross, slip, slip, hook, hook. Or we'll go 3 hooks even. So jab, cross, slip, slip, hook, hook, hook. That last hook, make a body shot, or the other side, make a body shot. So it's a jab, cross, it's a slip, slip, and there's 3 hooks. Out of any of those hooks, make one of them a body shot, right? So again, jab, cross, slip, slip, body shot. Jab, cross, slip, slip. Jab cross, you can go cross to the body even. You can go jab high, cross low, slip, slip, and then head. Or you can go jab low, cross high, slip, slip. Same combo from the side. Again, jab, my head tilts off, cross, my head tilts off, slip, hit my head tilts, slip, and fire. My head's slipping the whole entire time, right? Again, jab, cross, slip, slip, body. Jab, cross, slip, slip. And then we can also flip it over and do the other side. We can go cross, jab. So instead of going jab, cross, we go cross, jab. It's more like a power jab, it's like a lance, right? Kind of jumping, stepping forward with the lance, picking that elbow up. Because we're not setting up, it's not like a snap so much instead of the cross. We're going cross first. And normally, whether if I hit that cross, the guy's normally going to fall back or step back just a little bit if it lands, or he's going to step back and move. But rarely does a guy stay right there unless he blocks and fire back. So He's going to move a little bit back. So now I'm jabbing from this position right here. Off a target that just moved a couple inches back, and I'm jabbing from this way. As opposed to jabbing like from this position. You see there's two little details. I'm jabbing from here, jab cross, or I'm going cross first. Now I'm jabbing from here. It's two distinct positions. You know what I mean? So just like a power jab, shifting your shoulders hard all the way through. Pick this elbow up. I can even step forward a little bit. Right? So 21. So the same little hard frame like you're stepping through from that right from the elbow. Right? 21. Cross jab. Cross jab. And then we're going to go those 2 slips and then those 3 hooks. And again, out of those 3 hooks, make one in the body. So again, 21, slip. 21, slip. Same thing on this side. 21, slip. 1, slip. And then you can alternate. You can go the 21 or the 1-2. Right? So we'll go back to that first one then, right? 1-2, slip. Second one. First one. Second one. 21, slip. So both combos is 2 shots, 2 straight shots, 2 slips, and then 3 hooks. Right, that's the combos in all of them. I'm either going straight left, straight right, or straight right, straight left. And then slip, slip, and then hooks. You guys can finish with that knee drill again. Alright guys, that's this week's Live at 5. Thanks for joining us. We'll try to go over some more knees and stuff when we pick up class once this thing's lifted and done. Thanks again for joining us, guys.